Good morning. Right before Jesus' cousin, John, is tortured and killed, he sends a message through his followers to Jesus, and he says, "Are you the one that we have been waiting for? Are you the one that has been promised to us, that is bringing us the love of God in a way that we never would have known otherwise, and we've been begging for this for centuries, for generations?" And Jesus sends message back and says, "Look at the evidence of my life. Look at the fact that the blind can see, that the lame can walk, that the deaf can hear, that the mute can speak, that the dead are raised. Look at the evidence. People ripping the roof off of buildings to drop their friends down in front of Jesus. Please, heal this friend of mine." Maybe not fully understanding what was happening, but definitely knew there was something about Jesus that they wanted to be close to. That Jesus brought something to their lives that nobody else did. Gave them an insight into the love of God that they'd never had before in church, in temple, from the Pharisees and scribes. Sometimes we feel that way too. I mean, John had been watching Jesus his entire public life, and still he had the question, still he had the doubt. We have been believers, many of us, for our whole lives. We've looked at the Gospels. We've paid attention to the action of God in our lives and in the lives of the people that Jesus encountered, and still we might have questions. At this time in our country, this has been a heck of a year. And now there is even further emotional, physical, spiritual unrest. It's hard to know where to find an oasis. Where do I get away from the anxiety and the fear and the anger, perhaps, the frustration that I feel? And that's where I think we take on John's question and we say, "Are you the one? Are you still the one? Are you the one that is going to actually bring peace to this world like we hoped you would?" Because the evidence is not always clear. God loves us in a way that is so hard for our head to understand. So God approaches us through the heart. And through the heart, we see desperate people being cured and made whole. Even during COVID, we hear about people who've been in the ICU for 3 or 4 months and then come out in a wheelchair, still alive. The blind see, the deaf hear, the mute speak, the dead are risen. We really don't need more proof. We just need more faith. God promised that God would be with us always, and especially in those things that seem impossible. A country so divided with one another that it's being likened to the Civil War, right? Ripped right down the middle. What seems impossible to humanity is not impossible to God. Do we believe? The centurion teaches us, "Lord, I believe. Help my unbelief. Help all the areas of my life that still have cracks and gaps and my doubt that wonders if even faith in you can heal things and make things whole." So today we use the example of John. We look again to Christ, who's the physical manifestation, the human incarnation of the love of God, right? It just can't get more intimate than that. And we lay all of our impossibilities before God and say, "Please, I believe. Help my unbelief. Fix this world. Through my help, may I be an ambassador for that healing. But first, help my faith to be stronger. There is nothing impossible with God.